Hello, my love. I hope you're having a nice Thursday evening. It is 7:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is the time dinner's getting done. It might be a little late, but here we are. I'm starving. I was out most of the day. I was trying to get these nails done after about 7 weeks of having still my DR nails, and they might look okay on this video, but y'all, like, I don't know if I'm going to keep going to the manicure place anymore to get my nails done because, anyway, that's another story for another day. What I came here to share with you is my refrigerator, my fridge, because today is a perfect example of there being not a lot of things visually compared to how my refrigerator normally looks, like with a bunch of vegetables or different options. It's just running a tiny bit low on the groceries. So I just came up with a delicious dinner with whatever's in my fridge. And I thought that I was not going to be able to have on my way here, no like veggie side. It was just going to be carbohydrate and protein because I didn't really remember what I had in there. But I came up with a delicious veggie side. I'm going to show you. So here's my fridge. If you have any questions, let me know. This is what I knew. I knew I was going to make rice, and my rice, I already have it on the stove. I'll show you. And I knew a couple of things. Like, I didn't even actually remember I had this. So this is what I did. I looked around. I knew already that I'm going to cook these seasoned chicken breasts that I have. These were leftover chicken breasts from taco meal that I made yesterday. This is shredded chicken that we used in our tacos. It was delicious, but I'm not really gonna heat that up. These wings, one of my son wants that, so he's gonna have this with the rice, and then I'm gonna make these seasoned chicken breasts to go with the rice. And then for the veggie, I was like, oh, I don't have anything. And then I was like, wait, boom, little tomatoes. So we have baby tomatoes, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that will go great with an avocado. First of all, look at the size of this avocado. Like, the freaking apple is bigger than this avocado, but we're just gonna go with it. So I was like, ooh, we can make a tomato aguacate salad. And then I found my little cucumbers. So now we have a cucumber tomato avocado salad, nice and creamy. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to put, because my son kind of wanted Chipotle style rice, so cilantro. I was like, I'm going to put a little bit of cilantro in the rice, and I'm like, this will go great in this salad. So a tomato, a baby tomato, grape tomato, avocado, cucumber salad with chicken, and the rice I have cooking. I actually thought of something else. I have this like 3/4 of a plátano here that I use in another meal. And I think I'm just going to add this to the mix and have some maduros on the side. Now, y'all, this is like a whole complete meal. And here's the rice. I'm going to show you the ending of this. From going to I don't have nada in my refrigeradora to a full meal. And so the little, you see it looks like saucy or like yellowish. That is because I save, like if I bake chicken in my toaster oven, I save the juice. So this is from chicken thighs. I save the juice, the collagen from the chicken in a jar, and then I love to put it into rice. So when I do my groceries, we went from I'm about to order food at a restaurant because I was out to I might have a few things at home that I can make, and now I have plenty. So it's that whole hay comida en la casa theme, but for me, it's like you're not going to get there if you're not even prepared in the first place when you do your groceries. So when I do my groceries, what I like to think of is the 3 categories of carbohydrate, protein, and veggie. Mostly protein, not protein, mostly veggies being the main one, because unless you're a frozen vegetable person, which is totally cool, then that is one of the things that you kind of have to buy fresh, at least on a weekly basis. Rice is in my pantry for months or for a while. Pasta in my pantry. Protein. Pantry is usually, not pantry, protein is usually in my freezer or my pantry. For example, cans of wild-caught tuna, sardines, that's usually in my pantry. And in my freezer is usually like chicken, ground beef, chicken nuggets, like really quick sources of protein. So yeah, that's usually how I think about things. So if when you're doing your groceries, you have your stashes of carbohydrates, and even if it's like root vegetables like potatoes or plátanos or sweet potatoes, things like that, those things last a long time in your refrigerator. It's not going to go bad right away. Let's say like spinach. So I actually have some spinach there too. So the point is to try and compartmentalize each section. So that's technically like what your plate will look like when you're doing a balanced meal, right? A protein, a carbohydrate, some sort of veggie, and a fat. However, the fat you can incorporate in your cooking. For example, if you saute your vegetables in olive oil, or if you use olive oil on your salad, or if you have some avocado, or if your protein is, let's say, salmon. And you don't need that much either. So it's a little bit easier to incorporate at a smaller amount. Okay. So that's one of my recommendations. Number 2 is for the vegetables, most of the time is a stressful moment, because you might not know how to cook it, because you might not like it, because you think it's a waste of money, because it goes bad in your refrigerator all the time. So what I encourage you to do is to start simple. You don't need to buy the whole vegetable section in the supermarket. I would encourage you to, the very first step is to buy a vegetable that you like. 1, okay, maybe 2. So maybe that's broccoli, maybe that's lettuce, maybe that's tomatoes, maybe that's, I have a client who just started with pepinos, with cucumbers. That is okay. And then you practice incorporating that veggie in your meals, because that's another thing. We don't even think about it. It's like, if it's not salad, it's nada, right? But you can have a side of pepinos with your meal, okay? My client used to have a side of pepino with like Chick-fil-A or any meal that she was having. She would have a side of pepinos, of cucumbers there. And she started to train herself how to incorporate this third section into her meals. Now, she's adding all the things now. So pick 1 or 2 things that you feel comfortable using and just practice incorporating that into your meals. Then when you want to try something new, just buy that one new thing and try making it a week or at a time where you have extra time to take your time with it. And then when you get the hang, you can incorporate it in your rotation of vegetables, right? You don't need to buy everything all at once or cook new vegetables all the time. That's actually quite stressful, or it can take up a lot of mental space, and sometimes we don't have that much capacity, and we have to keep it super simple, super familiar, so we can at least start to practice that habit in the first place, okay? So another thing I like to do is, if I am ordering out at a restaurant, sometimes I like to try their version of how they made the vegetable, so that I have more ideas when I get home, or I know what kind of recipes to look for if I need some sort of guidance, okay? So I hope that was helpful. Finding food in your fridge, hay comida en la casa, can be stressful if you're not prepared with staple items in your refrigerator from when you went grocery shopping. And when you do your groceries, think about it in those categories: a few proteins, a few carbohydrates, and 1 or 2 vegetables when you're starting to get comfortable. If you're already buying them and not using them, just try incorporating them into your meals. How can you add it to your breakfast? How can you add it to your lunch? How can you add it to your dinner? You don't need to be very extra with it and trying the rainbow when you're not even trying anything at all. Or eating the rainbow, you know how they say that? Like, just eat the rainbow. Well, it's not that easy sometimes when you're intimidated or you don't know how to use it. So let's just start with one thing at a time. It can be as simple as pepinos or what I just described there, like cucumbers, tomatoes, avocado with cilantro, because that's what I had, or a new vegetable that you might like to try, but when you're not in a stressed out state. And if this all seems super stressful to you, I get it. It takes strategy, it takes mind space, it takes another level, not another level, but another thing to plan for. And the goal really is for it not to take so much space eventually, and it become a little bit of second nature, at least your regular foods, because there are foods or meals that are on repeat for us throughout the week, and that's okay too. I know oftentimes we have this belief that our menu should look like a buffet at a restaurant, but we don't have that kind of time. Actually, humans like things to be pretty consistent, pretty obvious, pretty comforting, pretty regular. So it's fine to have that and then sprinkle a little bit of pizzazz in your meals along the way when you have the. I think it's one of the most magical skills to practice and to have, because it's one of the best ways to protect your health. I know that we eat out. I know that there's delivery services. I know that there are like these meals that come in boxes and all that. All of that is okay. I just want to really say that. All of that is okay, because sometimes we need those resources and that support and that help. At the same time, I don't think is an excuse for not learning how to have your own back when you're buying groceries, when you're in the kitchen. I think that if you're a human, you should know how to feed yourself appropriately. And it's a good skill. It's so handy because it really does start to change your health around, if that's what you're looking for, because you get to be in control of every single ingredient. Do y'all hear the ice cream truck outside? It's 8 p.m. and it's dark outside, and the ice cream truck is out there. Kudos to them. Anyway, listen, if this is one of the main areas that you need support in, because getting groceries done stresses you out, planning your meals or determining what to eat, or being creative and like kind of spontaneous with meal creation is a struggle for you, and you really want to get better at these habits, with the understanding that it is essential to live a life rooted in wellness, is one of those health and wellness habits that you get to build. Number one, for yourself, and number two, you can have a multi-generational impact on your family and your friends and whoever, because of this skill that you learn. Not that you're going to teach everybody, but you know, they'll see you and you will influence them. So if this is something that you know you need support around, and you know it is essential to live a life rooted in wellness, to practice this habit that is part of a health and wellness lifestyle, then I really do invite you to book a consultation. This is not only an investment in coaching for yourself, this is really multi-generational. It has a multi-generational impact. Not only will you influence the younger folks in your family, whether that's your children, your niece and nephew, whoever you hang out with, but also the older folks in the family. There has been numerous times where my clients' parents or family members have also improved their health from the tips that my clients have passed on to them. So it is a powerful stuff.